Hold the world in your hands. The hand that made me who I am. Same for now, yesterday, and forevermore. And that's what makes you great. You are God. You will never change. You remain the same to the end. To the end. You are God. One who took my pain, took away my shame. Lord, you reign. That's why all you great. Great are you, Lord. Great are you, Lord. Great is to be praised. Great are you, Lord. Great are you, Lord. Yes, I'll celebrate.
Love for you runs things. All of you makes my.
Okay, let me say massive good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. And I apologize sincerely for the technical issue that is seem to be going on. But it seems like when it comes to the sound, it's not as clear as it's supposed to be. But wherever you are this morning, I hope you are enjoying the program. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
One who took my pain, took away my shame.
But from now till 1 o'clock when I bring the curtains down for the end of the program, I want you to stay with me. Don't touch the dial. Well, whatever is making the rounds when it comes to the news, I promise you one thing for sure that I'm going to be touching on that. But once again, I sincerely apologize for the noise in the sound that seems to be coming your way. But let me know how you're hearing us this morning. But let me say good morning to my team this morning, Mr. Olayomi, Mr. Frank Davis, Mr. My able producer, Mr. Francis Guy, who are all working behind the scenes to make sure that everything takes along nicely.
Make it all they fade.
But just bear with us whilst the technical team continue to sort few things. So that even looking at my image, you see that there seems to be something going on there. But don't you worry at all. Because Starr Radio UK, I promise you one thing for sure, all the time, that will bring you the best in everything. So stay tuned and stay glued to yourself. Don't touch the dial. Starr, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Yesterday and forevermore.
Well, I had a bit of a break there, and then yeah.
What makes you great?
You come in and now you have all the challenges coming on. What about that? But hey, wherever you might be this morning listening to us, I want to once again say welcome to the program. So from now till 1 o'clock, it's supposed to be, or when the technical team are able to sort it out. Let's crack on. But share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones if you can, and invite them to like our pages as well if you can. But let me quickly crack on. Yes, our protocol observed wherever you are listening to us from. Those of you listening to us on the YouTube this morning, the sound. I don't know exactly what is happening there, but hey, the technical team, as I did say earlier on, are working assiduously on it to make sure that they bring you the best in everything. So wherever you are, stay glued to yourself. Don't touch the dial. Okay, let's crack on then. So straight on, going on to what is happening on across the globe, or from across the globe, when it comes to the bubbles and this thing. Today we have to skip it and just go straight to what is happening from across the globe. Well, the war in Sudan seems to be catching the headlines on all the media platforms that we are operating on. The gunfire held in Sudan as uneasy truce holds. 72-hour ceasefire has come into effect, but there are reports of gunfire and shelling. Is that going to impact our people? More going to be coming your way from there, but wherever you are, don't touch the dial. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And when it comes to stories making the rounds from Nigeria, I hope that Olayomi can hear me loud and clear from that point. From our North London studios, Nigeria Governors Forum holds valedictory meeting as 17 governors depart. And the Sudan crisis, airline offers free flight as Northern Coalition condemns delay in evacuation. Why is it that the Northern Coalition are the ones condemning the evacuation, the delays in evacuation? Is that got lots of the Northerners in there in a particular place, and that's why they are saying so? We'll be bringing you more on that front as well. Buhari just out to Ghana for Maritime Summit. And court stop NCAA from issuing operator certificate to Nigeria Air. A lot more going to be coming away from there. Importing town to promote unity, peace in Enugu. That's some of the stories making the rounds there. But when it comes to the UK front, large-scale evacuation of British begin in Sudan, as it's been said. Nigerians said to get 301 cost of living payment. Payments have now started at of 301 to each of 8 million people on low incomes and receiving benefits. The UK borrowed less than expected last year. The government borrowed 139 billion in 2022 to 2023, less than forecast at the time of the budget. How does that impact us? Alright, and lots more going to be coming your way from there. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Army uniformed men kill 60 civilians in Burkina Faso. And I'm moving on straight to Ghana as well. Ghana results almost empty to end 2023 at nearly 3 weeks of import cover, IMF is saying. Oh my goodness. You have pixelated view of Galamsey. Professor Frimpong Boateng response to Archie. Well, maybe his pixels, maybe the glasses that he's wearing cannot see clearly. Is that what he's trying to talk about there? A lot more going to be coming your way as the technical team continue to work on the broadcast for us. And Galamsey report, minority leader calls for national probe. Kumawi election, NDC sponsoring independent candidate to split NPP votes. That's what Wuntumi is saying. Okay, so let's move on. We're coming away from there, but wherever you are, stay glued to yourself. Don't touch the dials whilst the technical team try to sort out whatever is going on. Let's enjoy this music from Pastor Theodora Boateng and the Theodora Gospel, and let's enjoy this, and I will be with you. Stay tuned, don't go away. Some tune there from Pastor Children Boachi and Sam featuring Morg. And he said, I will dwell. What would he want to dwell? Well. As I did say earlier on, the technical team are still working on the sound. So just bear with us while they continue to do that. But it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. We should be having Mr. Olayomi Koiki joining us in the next few moments, but wherever you are, stay tuned, don't touch the dial. Now, some of the stories that we're going to be looking at when it comes to Nigeria. Tinubu returns after 34 days, dismisses ill-health rumors. Say, you thought I was ill. I'm not ill. I'm here. Well, and kicking. Sudan, Ethiopia blocks spleen in Nigerian students. Faction agreed 72-hour ceasefire. In Africa, we are on our enemies, you know. Now, over 10 million malaria cases, 200,000 deaths recorded annually. That is a group information from a group known as Nigeria Malaria End Malaria in Nigeria group. But it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Just stay glued to your set, don't you go away. Commercial break, we come back and we'll be having Mr. Olayomi Koiki joining in. So wherever you are, stay glued to your set, don't touch the dial. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, unit, and phone number. That's it, you're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. The promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. The money will be delivered to the recipient within seconds. You can call me on 0749 all of our SendWave
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clemens, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur, and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business that you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Well, look for better. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure. Well, Land Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Land Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820, or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail info@welllamp
@gmail.com. Well, land shapers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from trouble. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Johinia, Ogome, Dodova, Geneva, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes ride from Central University College, and close to Crampton Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperties.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada you can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperties.com.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been
that?
told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that the start of the
Darkness.
whole of darkness.
So what did that
Myself and the world in a just. And 2019,
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on The CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Hi, I'm Dr. Donald Palmer, and I'm an immunologist. COVID-19 is still with us and making people ill every day, but it's not too late for all adults to book their first or second NHS COVID-19 vaccination. To get these vaccinations while they are still available and protect yourself and those around, visit nhs.uk/COVID vaccinations or call 119.
Tune in to On Point here on Star Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Okay, listen to Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. As I said, the technical team is working on the sound. I don't know whether Yomi can hear me. Yomi, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. Okay, we'll go on like that while the technical team continue to work on the sound. But it is the Tuesday edition of the morning show, and it's now gone 9 minutes past the top of the hour, and I have no one but the one and only Mr. Olayomi Koiki, who has joined in this morning from our North London studios to bring you updates from Nigeria. Let me say morning to you, Yomi, and I hope the family are doing very well. Adax Breaker, good morning to you as well. The sound is bad, yes, Adax, and we are working, the technical team are working on it, so just bear with us. Yes, Yomi, how are you?
Very, very good morning to you, Mr. Archie. Good morning, Frank. Good morning to all the technical team at the back. And I say good morning to all our listeners. I'm doing very well, and it's good to be back again this morning for the morning program where we discuss all the news coming out of Nigeria this morning.
Yes, thank you very much to every one of you who's tuned in this morning once again. My apologies for the noise in the sound. The technical team are working on it. We hope to sort it out during the course of the program, so just bear with us whilst it goes on. But, well, interestingly, after how many days? 34 days, 35 days, Tinubu has resurfaced. Well, he said, you know what, I'm doing exercise, I'm good, I'm strong, man, everything is fine. But what do the people really want to say? Yomi?
After 34 days away from Nigeria, the last time we saw Bola Tinubu was just immediately after the governorship election, and he didn't give any reason that he was leaving Nigeria, but information that came out then was clear that Tinubu has traveled again for medical reason. But 34 days. Tinubu has returned back to Nigeria yesterday into Nnamdi Azikiwe Murtala Mohammed Airport, where he was also received by all the APC supporters and also the Vice President-elect Shetima into the country. But as usual, there will always be a but. He has spoken. You could tell from looking at the video from some of us that Tinubu is definitely not as strong. We pray for a good health, because we remember that Buhari in 2015 also told Nigerians that he was very fit, ready to go, tackle headlong all the problems that Nigerians and the PDP have destroyed for 16 years. And 8 years down the line, Buhari, during the Eid prayer and the reception at Abuja, has now asked Nigerians to please forgive him because he has not done exactly what he wants. We also know that his media aid came out as well. Same media aid that defended Buhari in 2015 told us that Buhari failed the first 8 months of being the president. But the question about Tinubu's return after 38 days, he has dismissed that his ill health is a rumor, even though it seems that while he was speaking to the journalists yesterday, somebody behind him seems to be telling him what he needs to say so that he probably doesn't forget. We know that he couldn't make it down to Saudi Arabia as the itinerary was planned, because Buhari also spent the last 10 days of the Ramadan in Saudi Arabia, in Mecca, but Buhari has returned back. Tinubu was accompanied by his wife, Remi, and the son, all arrived, with a very, a rousing welcome by all the progressive Congress governors, the National Assembly leaders, and all the party loyalists. But the real question will be after May 29, when Tinubu takes the baton. But as we speak right now, we can't verify it, but there's a lot of images coming out that it seems that there was a PICC underneath Tinubu's outfit, which literally means that when you have such, for somebody above to, look into it, it might be that, a kind of treatment that is undergoing. He has said that he's ready to kickstart Amala is something that he has missed, and I'm not too sure whether it was a script. This morning, I also saw Tinubu watching his own replay arrival at the Muritala Mohammed Airport. That seems to be sending another signal. Is he sure that he himself knew that he's back in the country, or he's just probably watching that TV to look at the, the welcoming, of himself into the country? Starr Radio UK, I'll come back here to you in the studio.
Well, listeners, it's quite an interesting one, because he might be watching himself as whether the number of people who came to welcome him. So maybe that's what he was looking at. How many people came? Am I that popular? So I think everything is intact there. Now, ill health. I mean, we have a problem when it comes to Africa, because you take the US and look at President Biden. We talk about the fact that he's old, but we know that because the systems there work, so we know for sure that even if the president is not acting, the systems are working. So he just has to just make a speech and everything seems to be working. But that's where, when it comes to Africa, we have a problem, because our system don't seem to work. The checks and balances doesn't, and that's where concerns of Nigerians, or most of Nigerians, are this morning. But what do you think? If you are listening to us, once again, let me sincerely apologize. The technical team are still working on it, and we'll try to see. But we know that the supporters of Tinubu will definitely be singing his praises. Now, what about the other people? When I say other people, the opposition parties, what have they said pertaining to his health, where he's been, and everything? What has been the reaction on that platform? Over to you, Yomi.
Well, we've not really heard anything, from probably maybe in the next few hours they might start releasing, statement. But we know that, when it comes to Atiku has been very quiet. Just after the Adamawa election was when we heard from Atiku. Whether Atiku himself has now also gone back to Dubai where he resides, and then he'll probably be watching, and how things are unfolding. Especially, he has not congratulated Bola Tinubu yet. Likewise, Peter Obi. These two individuals are the two that are still fighting to believe that the election that was on the 25th of February was not done properly. I've been able to pick up, something as well from, the former, ambassador to Nigeria, Katrina Lang, and this is what Katrina Lang needs to tell us regarding the election.
And I finished after 2023, so I've seen some progress, a few setbacks, but overall what I would say, and this is one of my key sort of highlights from my time in Nigeria, Nigeria is the biggest, most important democracy in Africa, and for all its flaws and challenges, you are on that journey, and you should never take that for granted, because you're in a region where democracy is backsliding, and indeed globally. But Nigeria sends a bit of a beacon of hope, and I know a lot of people are disappointed with the process and with the outcome, but I would say hang on to that important fundamental that people in Nigeria, your vote does count. Look at the different electoral map. It looks completely different than it did in 2019. Democracy is a journey, it's not an event. So we're watching closely, along with other members of the international community, and those who incite violence or indeed act violently could be subject to a visa ban to our country, or we have other instruments including our human rights legislation. So I can confirm we're gathering information at the moment. We obviously don't speak about individuals, and we will consider whether we want to exercise those visa bans. So that is one of the tools. That's if you like, a negative tool, but the whole point of that is deterrence, to ensure that people reflect before they act in that way, because elections going well are so important for Nigeria. What didn't work well, it was a big disappointment to all of us, and most importantly to Nigerians, was what INEC had raised expectations, that as the results were being tabled at the local polling unit, they would be automatically visible to all of us, actually, to be able to track the results in real time, so transparently. Clearly the system failed, and there's no question that was a massive disappointment.
That was a massive disappointment, and that is where the petition, from Atiku and Peter Obi, I'm not sure whether they have to welcome Tinubu, but they'll probably want to see, Tinubu is not going to, appearing in any tribunal court, but the legal team between these three gladiators would definitely have to fight it through before May 29, where we probably say maybe we might get an outcome, to the tribunal petition before May 29. But it is now also carved down to, the next inauguration of the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But that again is subject to the outcome of the tribunal. This is Starr Radio UK. It is the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London, and I'll come back again to you. And the person speaking, for those that probably won't get the voice, was the former British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Katrina Lang. We know that a new one will be taking over anytime soon, and that is Dr. Chris Montenegro.
Well, listeners, updates from Nigeria with Mr. Olayomi. As I did say, we sincerely apologize for the sound, the noise and the sound, but just bear with us whilst we continue to work on it. But let's continue with the program. Now, interestingly, Katrina Lang touched on a few things that is quite interesting. She was of the view that, well, the system, that is the electoral system, is not good. There are flaws in there. So she agrees to that. But she's saying that, well, when it comes to democracy, it is not a race. So he said, oh, we just find that race, a short race and we're finished. No. It's like a lifetime change. So it's gradually, as we go on, things will change and will be better. So that, in a sense, some of the opposition parties will be saying that she is agreeing that there were serious flaws in there.
Well, you're quite right. Even the chairman of INEC believed that there was a flaw, but what they've said is that whatever flaw is in there, they've at least presented the elections in Nigeria, both the governorship and likewise the federal and the Senate, and the most important, the presidential election. And if those have not been a conclusive one, then the tribunal would have to vet through the process. As many expectation was that the election result will be transmitted, but we know that never happened. Does not mean that maybe, according to INEC, Bola Tinubu did not win that election, even though election are conducted every 4 years. As Katrina Lang was saying, the democracy is something that you build on. It takes that process. But is that a fair process every 4 years? Or is it just that, it's still the same way that when we talk about, democracy in America, it's been a very long one. Likewise, the one here in UK, all these are still questioned, and the court would then have to make that decision. I mean, you were not on the seat yesterday when I was discussing with, Frank, yesterday that, Inamni, one of the former governor of Enugu State, told Peter Obi, your petition is already dead on arrival. probably maybe to withdraw from that petition. We've seen petition before, Buhari petition when he lost, in 2003, 2007. We also saw that Atiku petition, and none of those petition tribunal gave mandate back. Even the one that happened, during Shagari, in some of those, period of time in the history of Nigeria, it has always been that the court has continued to favor whoever won that election, and that election has never been upturned. We've seen governorship election upturned, but not the presidential one.
Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 11:22. But before we leave Tinubu alone, somebody said, can we leave him alone? We are now going to get on with him. Now, his health insurance only, one of the APC chieftain is saying that, well, that will cover up to 87 million Nigerians. Is it that his personal health insurance that he has got, or that of the state?
Well, like I always say, everybody needs the kind of healthcare insurance at some point, and that literally means that there will have to be a working hospital, a healthcare system, and that facility that can save the lives if it is still necessary, to get that life back. Because at some point we would all stop breathing, but people have to be saved, whether they are old, and that's why we have a healthcare system here, where we still have our elderly that are well being taken care of, even up to the age of 100. But the president-elect Bola Tinubu has targeted providing healthcare insurance. Is providing healthcare insurance for at least 87 million Nigerians in his first 2 years, is what it actually means. So we do know that in America there's healthcare insurance. Probably maybe those healthcare insurance will be able to take care of the 87 million, because one of the biggest problems in Nigeria today is health. And when your health is not fit enough, then you probably don't have a system that works in terms of the economy, that can provide a lot of facility. Even though we know that Nigeria is not industrialized economy as we speak right now, but according to the youth leader of the APC, announced yesterday by Bello, one of the APC United States National Youth Leader in Abuja, according to the APC youth leader, Mr. Tinubu will ensure that 40% of Nigerians benefit by deploying the mandatory national health insurance scheme. We do the same thing here in UK, especially if you're coming on a student visa and different kind of type 2, type 3. You will definitely have to get what they call the national health insurance. If you travel around the country, for some of us that have done so, you also have to buy what they call insurance, and that literally means that when you get to those countries and you fall ill, you are covered. But the question is, will Nigerians have what it takes to buy those insurance in the first place, and how authentic all this is going to be? We will find out probably 6 months to a year when Tinubu is in office.
Well, I think our best bet is to pray for him, so that he will not be ill, and then that means that the state funds being wasted or not wasted, spent on him. That's what I would say there. My listeners, it is Starr Radio. Mr. Lightning again in North London studios. I'm actually here in the South studios, and we are bringing you updates from Nigeria, wherever you are. As I did say earlier on, please, I sincerely apologize for the noise in the sound, and I know our technical team are working on it, so please just bear with us. Okay, now let's move on straight to some of the sad stories that is happening. Well, we know with the incident that is happening in Sudan, we have got Nigerian students there, some Nigerians there as well, who are trying to escape. Now it looks like the northern caucus or elders are the ones who seem to be making lots of noise. Is it because we got lots of the northerners there, or in general they are looking at holistically that Nigerians have been are captured in there, and therefore there's a need to bring them out, and everything that is going on, Ethiopia stopping them from being taken and stuff like that? What do we have on that, please?
As human beings, we cannot categorize who travels and where you travel to. The Yorubas tend to travel more to America and the UK and Canada, probably maybe for reasons known to them. But as Nigerians start getting the message that we have up to about 5,500 Nigerians that are stranded, then there's been question that who are those Nigerians and what are they doing in Sudan? And the question again is, like I said, people travel to different countries from part of a region of Nigeria And it seems that the northern part of Nigeria tends to travel to, Sudan, and I will tell for so many reasons. Some might say, but is it to study Islamic, religion, Arabic? No. What we find out is, just as we know that a lot of Nigerians travel to Ukraine, and the reason for that is Ukraine have a very, very good medical, schools that Nigerians travel there, and then you can build your medical career quickly because of the strike in Nigeria. It's not cheap, it's quite expensive, and then you can end up, in any other country or return back to Nigeria. But we know that a lot of Nigerians in Ukraine got caught up in the war. I've also been told that some of those that went back to Sudan after the Ukraine war have now caught up again in the second war. And like I say, the northern part of Nigeria send their children to Sudan. It's a little bit of Arabic. They might feel a little bit comfortable because of the tradition, the Islamic tradition that is there, which might be different from here in UK. Even though we know that some of them come down to UK, they might be able to speak fluently, from the perspective of Arabic language. Again, because when you look at Sudan, it can communicate easily because of the language, which is very, very clear. And the reason again is that more northerners travel to Sudan, for medical training and all sorts. And that is the reason why we have some of them there. We have some Yorubas there. I'm not too sure whether, the Igbos are there. But one thing is, Ethiopia is now blocking Nigerian student fraction agree 72-hour ceasefire. Why is Ethiopia literally not allowing Nigerians to pass through, especially knowing fully well that there is a war going on in Sudan? They are telling Nigerians that you need a visa to cross through. These are some of the problems that Africa is still facing. You'll expect that as in Nigeria, the biggest, Africa economy, apart from South Africa, the federal government yesterday has now confirmed that some Nigerian students fleeing in the conflict in Sudan were denied entry. What is the Nigerian representative in Ethiopia doing? We don't expect to be getting a visa to get into Ethiopia, especially when it is a war crisis. It's not like they actually wanted to leave Sudan. They want to live in Sudan. Some of them have been living there, for years, just as some of us are living in UK. But these are some of the bottleneck that is going on between different African countries. The federal government said the Nigerian authorities in Ethiopia were really addressing the issue as they had sought clearance for the fleeing students, stressing that it was, however, risky for a student to have embarked on such journey. Well, it's never anything that is not risky, but they rather want to leave the war-torn country right now, as so many other countries are removing their diplomats. So if Nigeria, that is very close to Ethiopia, cannot get the Nigerians out, then it shows that Nigeria might just be too big, to look after its citizens. And these are some of the reasons why the Biafra and the Yoruba are saying that Nigeria is just too big and it just has to disintegrate.
Well, interestingly, some will be saying that the UK has also not been able to get its people out of that place as well. So it's nothing new, or let's say that a country is not, being proactive. So they will say that. But one thing that concerns me a lot is like what we're saying. Africa, Nigeria, all the countries that we are Africans. So if I'm supposed to travel to any neighboring country, can't I just go there without a visa? Especially in this case where there is war that I cannot go to, that they are the embassy to go and get a visa. I don't get it. So I don't think that the Nigerian is it ambassador there or the representative there are doing their best for Nigerian citizens in that particular place.
Yeah, you're quite right. Like I said, I watched a video, of a young, Nigerian student that has been able to get to the border, and she said they have to wait now for visa to get in. I do know that in West Africa, because Ethiopia is in East Africa, as a Nigerian you can easily get into any West African country. But what I don't understand is, why that same relationship don't happen in East Africa, especially, where consideration should have been given, knowing fully well that these students have taken the risk in the first place, even though the federal government disagree that they should have taken those risks. But again, getting to that border and then being turned back is another risk on its own, and that literally means that they will be prone, whether they are female, they are male, to so many activities that will start happening within that borderline.
Well, listeners, it's Starr Radio UK. It's gone 11:31. Go back to Yomi for the rest of the stories making the rounds. Over to you, sir.
Well, as we go straight into it, it seems that Lagos Stadium, had a batch, over the weekend, and it has gone from one of the West Africa best to the national shame. I mean, I saw, the stadium itself, over the weekend when some of the, the lighting that, was erected has actually fallen apart. And, according to this article, Lagos Stadium from the West Africa best to the national shade. We cannot look after the 51-year-old national stadium in Lagos has been left to rot away by successful administration. On Friday, the Sport Minister, Sunday Dari, has ordered the temporary closure of the dilapidated national stadium in Lagos after the collapse of one of the giant floodlights at the Arena 2, 2 days before. The floodlight pillar came in from the middle, following the windstorm, bringing down the ramshackle floodlight. The stadium was built in 1972 when Nigeria was still making a very good headway, and expectation was that Nigeria was going to become the best among all the African countries. And today, even though with the headline that I've just picked up as well, with almost 168 billion naira, sorry, did I say naira? No, 168 billion US dollars that has been sent by Nigerians outside the country. It seems that the country is still not doing very well. Since 1972 till date, that's about almost 56 years, 51 rather, and it seems that the stadium is as dilapidated as so many of our buildings and healthcare center. And if you look at this particular one that we've been bringing up to the screen for some days now, this is Dr. Fayemi Health Center somewhere in Ekiti State. He's a doctor. He lives in UK. Some have argued that maybe it's an abandoned project, but why do we need to abandon something that could be of benefit to the community? And if it's an abandoned building, why not just take it down? And these and so many is happening across the country. And just as a shameful way that the politicians and the elite have not really done so much for Nigerians. So we go straight to some of the other headlines as well. The diaspora Nigerians remitted $168 billion in 8 years, according to the World Bank, coming from World Bank this morning. We go straight to more other headlines, and we come back again to you in the studio. NNPCL already spent $1 billion on Ajaokuta Kaduna Kano pipeline project. Again, a huge amount of money. We hope that the final result will eventually happen. Infrastructure is needed. We need to build those infrastructure. We need to build the community and connect it to each other. The NNPCL, which is also the same as NNPC, is just that it has been rebranded, and that is why we are having NNPCL. Says it has now spent over 1.1 billion US dollars on the ongoing construction of the Ajaokuta Kaduna Kano gas pipeline and the station project from its cash flow. Gas is very, very important, as we do know around the world. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, like I said, spend 1.1 billion. That will create jobs, that will create opportunity. According to the CEO, Meli Kaira disclosed this yesterday while touring some of the project sites in Kogi with some of the journalists and the stakeholders as well. Mr. Kaira was accompanied by the top NNPCL and the Oil Service Limited project coordinator official, and he went on to say that the company will continue to fund the massive project, which is delivered in phases and has been active even though it does not have a third party finance. He also went on to say that the 1.1 billion project to date, none of the project activity is abandoned, which is very, very key. Let's take that word. It has not been abandoned. Let's hope now that Tinubu comes in and he can continue on that same project and it doesn't get abandoned, and then somebody start a new fresh project because it creates money. Because that has always been the issue, mostly in Nigeria. A project kickstart and then somebody abandon it and then start their own afresh. Especially this happened in most of our 36 states, where some of the governors doesn't like what they call continuity because they want to start afresh. Aisha Buhari loud women diplomatic community, as we do know that Aisha Buhari and the wife will be leaving very soon after 8 years, and it seems that is something that maybe some Nigerians are looking forward to. Enugu State Governor-elect Imba inaugurate transition committee members, as we do know that there will be a lot of as we're expecting the transition between Buhari and Tinubu, there will also be a lot of transition between some of the governors, especially those that have done their term after 8 good years. So let's now come back, to one more, and then we talked about the malaria. Malaria is a very, very deadly disease, especially the mosquitoes. They can suck the blood and they could infect you with what will end up to be in malaria. But a group known as the End Malaria in Nigeria has now described malaria as the biggest killer disease in Nigeria, with over 10 million cases and about 200,000 deaths annually. If you are not taking care of it quickly, it could lead to death. I mean, you could easily be bitten by by mosquito, as is known, and then you could quickly get the vaccine or the malaria tablet to take it out of your blood quickly. But because again of the poverty level in Nigeria, and because of the lack of cleanliness, just as we look at that, I don't know if that is still functioning, but if you have this kind of system there, you are also bringing in malaria, and that will literally mean that we can get more people to be killed. We need more people to be told that if your surroundings are not clean enough, you could also be breeding mosquitoes, and that could lead to death as well. With 200,000 deaths annually, which amount to about 31.9% of the global malaria index. This was made known by in a statement issued by Francis, the world convener of #End Malaria in Nigeria yesterday. The group commend the effort and intervention being made by various groups, individual government agencies over the years towards malaria elimination in Nigeria. It is very, very important that we continue to tell the people, whether you live in the city, you live in the urban area, you live in the village, that the environment also means a lot. And if you not have a clean environment, you might end up having malaria, and that could lead to death. Especially, we know that most of the hospitals and the health center are not there, because this is an health center. You need a health center before you can get to the general hospital. That is the way it operates in Nigeria. And if that health center is not functioning, there's no way you can get into the hospital in time. I come back to you in the studio, and when we come back, we go straight into what is happening from the social media this morning.
Yes, listeners, just bear with us with the sound. But let me quickly ask Yomi a bit of a background. Who is Dr. Kayode Fayemi? Who is he, and how was that property built? I mean, how is it benefiting the society? How was it built? Can you give us a bit of a background to that?
Kayode Fayemi was the former governor of Ekiti State. He's a politician. He was also, one of the ministers under the cabinet of, Buhari. Kayode Fayemi was born in 1965. I believe my picture is not coming back. He's a Nigerian politician who served as a governor of Ekiti State between 2018 and 2022. Kayode Fayemi is a member of the All Progressive Congress as well, but he built this healthcare center, or he probably facilitated the project. But as you can see, this is not an healthcare center. This is like a bush where trees and it's just growing around it. And again, when you ask yourself as a doctor himself, will he be able to get treatment from these? But these are some of the reasons why, as many people are saying, that it seems that the negligence of the healthcare system. Remember that Tinubu says he's going to be able to take care of almost 84 million. We will have to wait and see into his tenure when he kickstart in the next 34 to 33 days.
Well, listen, it's a sad one there, because we invest our state funds into doing all stuff, and even if there are gifts from various people who are philanthropists giving us this money, how do we even manage that? You see a facility like that sitting there and going to waste, and we got all that. The children are dying because of malaria, the mosquito bite. That can be they can be seen there. And we just live it like that, and nobody asks us anything. Everybody doing everything good. Well. Aziz, good morning to you, and I apologize, my brother, for the sound there, but we are working on it. Okay, let's go back to Yomi for the rest of the stories. Over to you, sir.
We go straight to the social media, and we pick one or two things that is happening on the social media. The picture of Bola Tinubu is being circulated. Whether the one that have a bit of syringe under what we call the PICC, under his sleeve, or just as other that are celebrating that the leader of the APC and the winner of the election has arrived back into the country. So that is a discussion that is currently going on. Like I said, PICC line has now been another picture that is coming on to somebody that doesn't even understand what is PICC. In the last almost 12 hours that Tinubu arrived, you probably understand well what PICC means, and what is used for, and what is the purpose for it as well. So all that is also going on as well. It seems that I have gone to rest because no serious leader can go on rest with Nigerian current state. That is Peter Obi amongst Tinubu, that going to rest at this particular time. And no serious leader should be going to rest with the current state of where Nigeria is right now. So that is also coming from some of the airline as well, and I'm just picking up different other ones as well. There's another headline, some of the other things there as well. The Yoruba Nation Clubhouse says the Lagos Center for Yoruba Culture, the brand new J.K. Randall Center for Yoruba Culture and History, was designed by architect Sheun Oduwole, will be an architect masterpiece showcasing the Yoruba in their full glory. The site was the location of the Nigeria first public pool. So it seems that as the conversation continue with the agitation for the right to self-determination, the question again is according to Malcolm Obo, one of the biggest achievements of President Muhammadu Buhari is the disarming of all the other ethnic nationality in Nigeria of their guns, while allowing the Fulani ethnic nationality to be heavily armed with the AK-47 MPMG rocket launchers. Whether we like it or not, this is a benchmark. So many people will remember Buhari for different things, but as we do know, the last one also, Buhari of Obasanjo, the one of the Salam Tinubu expected at Osibajo group launch. Starr Radio UK, this is how far we can go this morning, and I'll be back again same time tomorrow for more news headline coming out of Nigeria.
Well, listeners, Mr. Olayomi for you this morning on the morning show and updates from Nigeria. We want to say thank you very much, Mr. Olayomi, and as I said, it's going to be back from tomorrow. Next we're going to be looking at the President Buhari's legacy. His legacy. What do you think? Some are talking about the fact that he disarmed every other part of the country and left the Fulani herdsmen or Fulani people to be armed, and they're going around killing people, doing all sorts. But what do you think? We'll be looking into that in a moment. Thank you very much. Yomi, before you go.
Well, stay tuned as Archie take you through. Like I said, we will work on the sound as they're still doing, but make sure you stay tuned for the rest of the segment, with Archie and Frank. For me, I'll be joining again same time tomorrow at 11 o'clock for the news headline from Nigeria.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye for now. Well, listeners, that has been Mr. Olayomi bringing you updates from Nigeria. And as I did say, just bear with us while the technical team try to still sort the sound out. But, well, your comments, even if you are listening to us and you have a few of the comments coming through as well, you can post them. And I promise you one thing for sure, that we're going to be looking at it all. Reading it out for all our wonderful listeners. But wherever you are, we're going to take a musical break while the technical team continue to work on the sound. This one from Stephen Mali, and he says the Babylon system. That's what works in Africa. What do you think about that? Okay. Just bear with me. I could see that was what was causing a bit of sound in the background. Okay, so let's go to Stephen Mali this morning. Captain Mali for you, saying the Babylon system. That's soon to be what happens or it works in Africa, on the African continent, is quite a sad one there. And that's why people talk about the fact that if we have people who are old taking the helms, do we think our systems are such that we can still let them or they perform to the best of their abilities? Let me say good morning to Bishop Adeshin Ademo. Yes, it says kudos to you all, kudos to you too, Bishop, and thank you very much for joining in. We apologize for the sound. Yes, the technical team are going to work on it. So it looks like we have to bring the program to a close exactly at 12:30 so that they can work on it, because it looks like the system has to be restarted and everything. But I'll do my best to see that between now and 12:30 I will squash everything in and present it all to you, pertaining to the story that is making the rounds across the globe. This afternoon, exactly at 1:30, we'll be having BB Clement coming your way with BB Meets Business. And we wanted to stay tuned and join us on that platform as well. But there'll be lots of music flowing in. I mean, call it more music, less talk. DJ's taking over to bring you the verse and everything. So wherever you are, stay tuned, stay tuned, stay tuned. Don't touch the dial. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Starr Radio UK. Let's take a quick break and I come back with all the rest of the stories making the rounds there. Stay tuned.
Tell the children the truth. Come on. Tell the children.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from Sendwave. Sendwave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With Sendwave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use Sendwave? Sendwave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it, you're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. The money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749-7377-647 at any time. I will happily tell you all about Sendwave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit with us.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clemens, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur, and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business. The show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business, but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure. Well, Land Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. When Land Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820, or you can visit our website www.worldlamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail info at worldlamp@gmail.com. World Lamp Children, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Due to the technical issue that is going on, we'll have to bring the program to a close in the next 5 minutes because the sound is not good enough. I know that you guys cannot hear us very well the way it's supposed to, so just bear with us whilst the technical team try to sort that out, and then we can get BB Clement on exactly on time as well. So stay tuned, don't touch the dial. Starr Radio UK, it is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's move on. Now, interestingly, okay, just bear with me. A quick one, just going to run you through some of the stories that is making the rounds this morning, and then we bring the program to a close. But hopefully we will be bringing you more when it comes to everything that you need to know tomorrow, God willing. Now, U.S. President Joe Biden is saying that, you know what, I'm going to run the 2024 presidential elections. Do you think that he's going to be easy capable? I remember back in the day, was it sometime last year, any part of last year, when he was traveling and he was going on the Air Force One, and once he was trying to board the plane, getting up the stairs, and then he seemed to be, virtually falling down the college, let me put it that way, about a couple of times before he got to the entrance of the plane itself. So looking at him, looking at everything that is going on, do you think that he needs to put himself in that particular place, or do you think he's agile when it comes to making decisions? Now, more than 40 years ago, when Jimmy Carter sought to second term in office, he faced a stiff challenge from Massachusetts Senator Ted Kennedy for the Democratic presidential nomination. Carter ultimately staved off Kennedy, but their heated primary elections battle left him ripe for picking in the general election, and Republican nominee Ronald Reagan scored a landslide victory. Now, echoes of the 1980 contest remains instructive to Democrats today, as President Joe Biden has often been compared to Carter by his critics, particularly those who disapprove of his approach to the economy and foreign policy. And as he launches his re-election campaign, most polls suggests voters, including many from his own party, aren't thrilled by the prospect of him running again. Now, U.S. President Joe Biden has announced that he will seek re-election for the presidency in 2024, with Vice President Kamala Harris again his running mate. Now 80 and already the oldest president in the U.S. history, Biden had long signaled he will run for another 4-year term. In a video to launch his bid to retain the White House, he cast the next election as a fight for democracy and personal freedom, saying, "Let's finish the job." But the Republican called Biden out of touch for seeking re-election, claiming U.S. citizens were counting down the days until they can send him packing. Donald Trump has already launched his bid, meaning the pair could be set for a rematch for the 2020 elections in November next year. Now, with Biden's Democrats performing better than expected in last year's midterm election, he's unlikely to face much competition from within his own party. But an NBC News poll recently found that 70% of Americans and just half of Democrats believe he should not run again. So with this announcement, do you think he's going to do it or not? Well, listeners, as I just say, due to the sound problem that we're having through the sound, which is not making the broadcast to you more palatable to enjoy, we will have to bring the program to a close for today. And I promise you tomorrow, God willing, once we come back, or just so that we can prepare the grounds for the BB Clement show as well. But God willing, we'll be back tomorrow and we'll bring you the best and everything. So wherever you are, stay tuned, don't turn them down. Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. It's been me, Archie, and I say have a terrific day and bye-bye for now.
guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it, you're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749-7377647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Grazie.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clemens, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur, and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you